So we talk about being diurnal, and you talk about being our sleep starts when we first get up in the morning. So let's go through what should be a healthy pattern to start you to get good sleep at night. Let's start with in the morning when you get up.
Fantastic. So first thing that you're going to want to do is get early sunlight exposure as early as possible. Again, if we're looking at some of those ancestral patterns that I know that both of you Needhams love, right? We have to get that early morning sun exposure. That's what our ancestors did, and that's what we need to do. So the pineal gland is going to recognize, that we're getting that full spectrum wavelength of all the lights, every single light on the wavelength, the light spectrum. And it's going to start realizing that the body now needs to begin producing its daytime hormones, cortisol. So activating, that pineal gland to know that, hey, it is morning outside, instead of just going straight into an LED lit room or straight in front of a screen, is going to be very important to set up the hormone cascade for that diurnal cortisol pattern. The other thing that you're going to want to do is start eating something. There is a case for intermittent fasting in really healthy people, but oftentimes women who are complaining of sleep issues are not really healthy people, right? They're often eating far too few calories, too few, grams of fat, way too few, grams of protein, oftentimes under eating carbohydrates as well. They're just malnourished. And so getting a good breakfast, a blood sugar balancing breakfast, including animal protein, first thing in the morning, 30 minutes after eating, is very helpful for setting up proper hormone balance and proper sleep balance later on in the day. The other thing I really encourage my clients to do is push actively into your rest throughout the day, as much as you're pushing into being productive, right? So scheduling in on your, literally scheduling in on your calendar, 10 minutes to do a breath work, a breath work break, some box breathing, 10 minutes to lay outside in your backyard and just get off your devices and get some sun and get some rest. If we're not able to achieve that autonomic nervous system balance throughout the day, if we're constantly pushing ourselves to stay in that fight or flight sympathetic mode, then it's impossible for the body to suddenly switch and, turn the off switch and get into parasympathetic mode, that rest and digest mode. So I'm encouraging my clients, all throughout the day, how can we get that nervous system balance? Like, how can we start rewiring the brain and, the hormone system to actually get that nervous system balance and get out of fight or flight mode? So eating does that. Breathing does that, deep breathing, resting does that. And again, if you're not, complicit in being active in pursuing your rest and nervous system balance, then the default mode for most women is going to be, fight or flight sympathetic mode, and they're just not going to sleep well.